congratulations, a big congratulations to those who've made it to the semi-final stage. I know it was not easy, and you did a lot of, it was quite a lot. What I want to tell you is that you're almost there. Don't lose hope. I'm going to share with you the tips and to guide you on how to go for the interview and get yourself to attend this wonderful program. To those who have applied and never got an opportunity to be in the semi-finalist, don't lose hope. I know people who've applied more than 4 times and have gotten it, so don't lose hope. Today I'm just sharing hope, but at the same time I'm also holding the hands of those who've gotten into the, almost there. So I'm going to share with you the tips, and I hope these tips are going to help you. So please take a pen and a paper. I am Sheila Atieno Vandegraaff. I am a Mandela Washington Fellow 2016. I've gone through the process. It was not an easy process. You get, you get anxiety. You're almost there, but you're not yet there. And I feel you. I totally feel you. So I'm going to share with you the tips. I hope they help you. But so far you've done a wonderful, wonderful thing to even get into the interview session. It is not easy. Again, to my brothers and sisters who didn't manage to get into this, don't lose hope. And if you want me to hold your hand, even for next year, keep on sending those applications. I have good news that some of the people who send me the applications, they've gotten into the second step. I do this for free. I don't charge anything. So if you still want me to help you next year, I am here. I'm here to help one person at a time, but send me your documents in good time. As I shared, I'm a Mandela Washington Fellow 2016. I was privileged to travel for the very first time in the US in 2016. I was in Indiana University, a wonderful university. I got to make friends, and it's another story for another day. I'm also here in the US doing my studies. I came back, and I'm currently an international student doing my studies here in the US. My second studies, I'm doing a Master's in International Development. I'm doing my second Master's, and I'm on full scholarship. I also run a non-profit organization, and here in the US, I also work part-time as a research assistant. Quite loaded. So in my channel we share a lot about study abroad, opportunities, scholarship and all that, and how to support one another. If you find this is something you want to be, this is a family you want to be part of, please click the subscribe button and subscribe, like, share and comment. Please comment, and let's continue to impact one another. So I'm going to go very straight into what are those tips that I used and some of my friends and fellows used, and has helped them to be fellows. For those who are asking, what exactly is Mandela Washington Fellowship? They're hearing it for the very first time and they don't know what exactly it is. So MWF is in full is Mandela Washington Fellowship. It's a flagship program that was initiated by President Barack Obama. It's under the YALI, Young African Leadership Initiative. I am privileged to have done the YALI East African and the YALI Mandela Washington Fellowship. It is right now institutionalized in the US government, and it's a program that will run beyond the lives. It's part and parcel of programs that US supports in various parts of the world. So Mandela Washington Fellowship, this program supports selects highly effective African young leaders from Africa to travel to the US, fully sponsored, their flight, accommodation, you're given allowances, you're taken to really nice school. But the most important is that you're impacted with the skills, you're impacted with knowledge, you're impacted with people, and a lot of networking sessions that will help you so that when you go back to your country, you're able to implement and to even to grow in a bigger way as a leader. I know most of you are doing awesome things. In my lot, I think in my cohort, in my cohort we've had Kabale, we have the people who are winning really, So this Mandela Washington Fellowship picks the creme de la creme of leaders, So I feel humbled to be part of that. So we had over 50,000 applications in our year, and they were only selecting 1,000 from Africa. So every year they select 1,000. I think this year is 700 or less, but the number keeps on changing. I think it should be 700, and all these 700 young leaders go to various universities in the US, where they're placed and learn with one another, learn with among other young African leaders, and we've made awesome friendship. My friends from 2016 are still my friends. Like, I think everywhere in African continent I have a friend, courtesy of Mandela Washington Fellowship. I've also made wonderful connections and all that, and they support your project. When you come back home and you're looking for funding, you can apply for grants. So it's an awesome opportunity. So I'm so glad to be part of this. And when some of you reached out to me and said, okay, step 1 done, we are now in the semi-finals, so what can we do? I can tell you, let's go straight into these 10 tips I'm going to share. The first tip is go through your application very, very well. Take time, go through your application, from what you wrote, the figures, the impact, even the wording. Let me share with you. I proofread some of those, like, shortlisting, and every person who does the short, you're given 40 applications or thereabout, and you have to grade these 40 applications. So if your paper gets into those tough leaders who are doing amazing things, maybe that's the reason why you didn't get shortlisted. So don't feel like you didn't. There are people doing really great things, and that does not mean that what you're doing is not great for those who didn't get it. So when these people go into reading your application, they grade you, and and all that. So they already know you through your application. Now they want to hear you in person. They want to relate what you wrote in your paper to what you really are. Because a bot can do anything. A bot, machines can write things, of Gantt chart and whatever. They're not doing research for people. So they want to relate what your essays, whatever you did, you wrote there, with the person. So read exactly what you wrote in your, I know it's just what you've been doing, you translated it into your paper, and just have a clear memory of exactly. That should not be difficult, because it is you who was doing your applications. They might ask you, I know people have been asked, tell me your name, and they forget their name. So it's very, very normal for people to forget. So do that. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 that I would really love for you to do is arrive for your interview early. I understand this year people are being interviewed on Zoom. This is a plus, but also a disadvantage for those who cannot access Zoom, internet and all that. But remember, as we are going to the US Embassy, the security there, oh my goodness, you have to be there like 2 hours. You are on site, all those things. But don't worry, for your year, this year is Zoom. Set aside 30 to 1 hour. 30 minutes to 1 hour of just setting everything. If you don't have a computer, if you don't have, probably you have to go to the center to access a computer, to access internet. This can be very challenging doing Zoom. It's very, very challenging, but at the same time, it's also challenging going to the embassy. So they know the reason why they did the Zoom. But personally, I prefer one-on-one, smile, and I'm gonna get to that. So set up early enough, and just check on everything. So that's my tip number 2. Set up early, 30 to 1 hour. Have your notebook ready, have your paper, go well prepared. You have your computer, your paper, you're writing notes, look like you're a really serious, because you are. For you to be in these shortlisted to this level, you are a very serious person. Okay, so present as well. We do serious things. Okay, so tip number 3 that I would love for you to also take advantage of is that have a backup computer. If you're going to use Zoom on your computer, have at least a friend or somebody who can, if you Zoom, all of a sudden things happen. When I was interviewing to be the African Regional Coordinator, for Africa some years back, and I'm so glad I got this opportunity to coordinate Africa for 2 years. When I was being interviewed from Switzerland, my computer just went dry. My computer that has been so efficient for the longest time, now this special interview, it just went blank, and I had to run around from one place to the other looking for a cyber and all that. It was really chaotic, but I was able to write an email. If such a thing happens, just write an email and let them know, because they know the challenges Africans go through. They know the internet can disappear at any time, electricity can disappear on the day of your interview. Just let them know of some of the challenges you're experiencing, and maybe if you can write them an email earlier and for some challenges you foresee, and let them know these are some of the challenges. I might not come because of this and that, or this, just to but try as much as possible to be in for your interview. This is your it's gonna be a very good experience. I remember when I saw President Barack Obama in person and just engaging with the it was really, I mean, let me not be a spoiler alert. So have a backup computer, have a friend who has a computer around, or just go and do your interview in a cyber or something. I know it's very challenging, I feel you, and it's expensive as well, but I feel you, and you're doing this for your own benefit and the benefit of the many people you are impacting. I'm so proud of you. So our tip number 4 is have the Zoom app. Download the Zoom app on your phone or on the computer. I don't know the directions that have been sent to you guys. Probably maybe you have a particular place you're going to do the Zoom interview. I don't have those information, but I just want to, if you are to do it on your own, just make sure that your computer, your phone, or your tablet has the Zoom app. I don't want to tell you more stories about that, but you can think that when you are ready for the interview, that's when you can't log into the Zoom, that's when you can't do whatever. So download the app and log in. If you can log in early, if they can allow you, so that you just wait for the host to allow you in. Okay, so download the Zoom link and do it early enough. You remember I told you do it 30 to 1 hour. Just set up and be in a place that you know that there's some level of backup, because I know, guys, you'll love this fellowship. You will love everything fully taken care of. You're up to even healthcare. I mean, up to even but the impact of this program has grown me to be where I am. I clearly understand the benefit of this program. So this is just like you're almost there. The 5th tip that I want to share with you is that have a PowerPoint presentation. I should have started with this, okay? Have a PowerPoint presentation of all, since you can't go in person, you have to not impress, but just give in details whatever you presented in essay. Do a PowerPoint presentation. I would advise use pictures, figures, and not words. Very few words. If you run an NGO, take some of the photos of your impacts, or you donated books, or you are in this school and all that. Take pictures of all that, all the information, and put it in your PowerPoint presentation. Put your figures in a PowerPoint presentation. Let it not be more than 10 slides, okay? Let it be as brief, and they might not give you an opportunity. I don't know what the structure of interview is. Probably you've been told to do that already. I have no idea. If you have, then that's well and good. Probably they'll tell you how many slides and all that. I wish I'd gone into that. I wish I'd asked my friends, those who've gotten selected for this one, to tell me more information about it. But if you've been directed on that, please make sure you limit words. If you want to make a very impactful PowerPoint presentation, make sure you limit words. Another thing, you can use the PowerPoint PowerPoint Microsoft to do your PowerPoint presentation. But if you want to make your PowerPoint presentation even more powerful, use Canva. Canva has PowerPoint designs that you can use that are more appealing than the PowerPoint ones, than the Microsoft words that are sometimes plain. I don't know. So use the Canva PowerPoint. It has really nice. You can use some, you can crop it, and and you can even use some quotes and all that. So make sure you have a PowerPoint presentation, use the figures, share the impact, and make it as impactful. If you are running an NGO, even have a quote from your board of directors, have a list of your directors, have a list of your team, and give a very good output of your organization, of your impact. If you're running a non-profit, if you're running a business, or if you're in civic, and you have all those photos, just put them in the presentation and share in the impact. Why am I sharing this? Because since you cannot go there and talk in person, this PowerPoint presentation will be something that will speak for you. If they don't give you, probably you are not required to, maybe they don't have an allocation for that, request them and tell them it will only take 2 minutes. The moment you've even told them, I have a presentation, it will only take 2 minutes for me to share with you this presentation, there's already something. They know that you want to share with them, and you want to just engage with them, and I don't think they will deny you just 2 minutes. Tell them just it's 2 minutes, and for sure stick to that 2 minutes, because it's just 10 slides. Stick to those 2 minutes and share with them, and I can guarantee you it will be very impactful. If it's not part of the things that you are required to do, share a PowerPoint presentation with all those facts, figures, and even quotes, or even quotes from your beneficiaries, how whatever you've done has impacted them. And you can even have, if they've allowed you to use their photos, you can even have their photo, a photo of, maybe you're working with children, and children, you have to get consent from the parents. But whatever you are doing, just make sure that you have consent, and you can put those. And I mean, guys, I hope somebody gave me these tips, but I did qualify for 2016, and it was a wonderful experience. So take charge of what I'm telling you. Tip number 6 is answer questions precisely and with examples. Tell me about yourself. I run an organization. This is my name. I run an organization. This is my impact, and all that. Put everything within 1 minute, or even less. But make that person understand that you really know, with figures and numbers and impact, and but be precise. Don't go into storytelling. They don't have that time. They have to interview so many people. Okay? Tip number 7 is have confidence. Have confidence when you go in there. Take charge of the space. I know it's a big challenge. People tell me, so how do I maintain how will I maintain a smile and all that? Have confidence. Stay smile throughout the session. Smile. Even if one of the interviews asks you, and they keep on asking you, and you're like, why is this person asking? No, maintain a smile. Maintain a, keep your confidence throughout. Keep smiling all throughout the interview. Keep thanking them for like when they ask you something, thank them fast and all that. I mean, be confident. Take charge of that's your interview session. You'll not get another interview session this year. That's your time. They've created time and resources for that. Take charge of that. If you are one person maybe who's shy, start by saying, I am a very shy person. Start by saying that I am a very shy person. If I say anything embarrassing or anything, just to let you know that I am shy, and I'm going to give this interview my best. When you do that, they will know that from the start you actually mentioned you are a very shy person. Take charge. That's what I can tell you. Tip number 8 is carry a sample of what you do. If you are an entrepreneur, probably you do bags. Carry a sample of your bag. Show them during the interview session. Tell them, this is the bag, this is the end product. Some of the products you use, I know Brian also got selected. I'm so happy about Brian. I told him to apply, and I told him you can get this opportunity, and he actually is now going in for the interview. He's my mentee. I know where that guy has come from and he's doing amazing. So he uses diapers to make bags, so he can just come in with the diaper, not the used diaper, at least some products on the processes, and you can show them this is the end product, this is the what I do. Just give a brief. If you are making flour to feed hungry and vulnerable children, come with your samples, give them a narrative of the process. If you're running a non-profit, come with photo album or come with flyers. I remember my organization we used to have a magazine. I carried those magazines. I carried anything that can show that it's beyond the words. You're carrying a whole organization with you. Okay, so have samples of what you're doing, have samples of how you're engaging and all that. Okay, tip number 9, come ready with a question. It's always good to ask a question after the interview. Probably you can ask them a question like, what do you think is the most challenging skill that a leader should have, or what's the impact of MWF so far according to you? So you ask the interviewer, do you have a question? Yes, always have a question. Always go in those interviews with a question. It shows that you are understanding. Probably you can ask them, what's the impact of this MWF? What do you think, me as a leader, a skill that I should build on from what, or what do you think are the challenges? Just have a question, okay? Don't go in plain. Number 10 is that always thank the interviewers. When you go in, you're done, you finish, you're so happy, excited. Remember to thank them for their time. Remember to thank them for the resources. Remember to thank them for the opportunity to have to have been given that opportunity to engage with them. Okay, so always thank them and even joke around and tell them, I'm the leader you're looking for. So don't look any further, and tell them you're excited and you're going to pack your, just be jovial and just joke about it. I know people who are like so stressed up. I feel you. Just try as much as possible for this particular interview to just try and do the best out of it. Thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe, share, like, comment. I'm looking for your comments. If there's a tip that I've left, please add that tip in there. Add it so that we can continue impacting more people. Thank you and all the best and be blessed. Thank you.